G'day everyone and welcome back to this video. This video in the geometric figures series. This one is all about polygons. Now, polygons are simply shapes with straight sides. They're two-dimensional shapes with straight sides. That is all a polygon is. It is a shape with straight sides. That is literally the definition of a polygon. The word poly just meaning many. So the word poly, or the prefix rather of poly, means many, okay, and then gon being the part that refers to shape, okay. Now, polygons, just like quadrilaterals that we have dealt with in the past, can be convex or not convex. If they are convex, that means that all of the interior angles are less than 180 degrees. All interior angles are less than 180 degrees. That is in our convex polygons. Our non-convex polygons, these guys may have one or more angles that are reflex angles. That is, they are greater than 180, and this refers to the interior angles. So that's the ones inside. Okay. How do polygons actually get their names? Well, they get their names from the number of sides they have. So they get their names from the number of sides. So for example, a triangle, 3 sides, okay, and 3 angles. Gives us triangle. Triangle. A pentagon, or a 5-sided shape, a pentagon, all right, this word pent, or the prefix pent, refers to those 5 sides. Okay, so that's where we get our names from. Now, when we are working with polygons, we are oftentimes asked to find the interior sum of the shape, of the angles of the shape. Now, when we do that, we can use a special formula for that. Okay, so when we talk about the interior angle sum, we are actually talking about the sum of the angles inside the shape. Okay, so we're talking about those ones inside. And what we do is we use a formula. And that formula is S for sum, so it can be a capital S, equals n minus 2, so n being the number of sides, times 180 degrees. Okay, so n minus 2 times 180 degrees. And S represents our sum, and N is the number of sides. So that's our interior angle sum. Now, occasionally, we need to deal with the exterior angle of a polygon. Alright, so the exterior angle sum, it doesn't matter what kind of convex polygon we have. So for a convex polygon, the exterior angle, so the angles around the outside will add or sum to 360 degrees. Okay, that's how they work. All right, and last but not least, when we're talking about polygons, is we have what we call regular polygons. And these bad boys, like the octagon shown here, all the sides and all the angles are equal. So all sides and all angles are equal. Okay, so that's what you need to know about polygons themselves as we move forward together in this topic. Okay, let's get in and have a look at some of the different polygons that we have. I have here a table. It's a table of shapes, and I've got 5 different shapes plus an extra little bit of information to look at. So our first shape, well, that's a triangle. Okay, triangle, it has 3 sides. So for our angle sum, we want to go S equals n minus 2 times 180. So we want 3 minus 2, which is 1. And this matches up very nicely with what we've spoken about before when it comes to triangles. Very similar with our next shape, which is a quadrilateral. So that's our 4-sided shape. All right, and we go through the motions again to find our angle sum of this one. So we just go through each bit individually, each step of the way, being nice and clear. And we get to 360 degrees, which is what we have learnt previously when it comes to quadrilaterals. As we're moving along, we get to our next shape. This one is our pentagon. That's 5 sides, and we go through those motions yet again. Okay. And we get plenty of practice at using a formula. Gives us 540 degrees. Now, you may be seeing in our diagram that these pictures have been split into triangles. Okay, so we can even do that. So each shape is made up of a whole bunch of triangles, and you can see that it matches quite nicely. Okay, so here we have 1, 2 triangles, and we're going to actually have 2 lots of 180. In the Pentagon, we have 1, 2, 3 triangles, matches up with the 3 lots of 180. Okay, so this is just another way to look at it. Let's move along to our last 2 shapes. Alright, we start here with the hexagon. Alright, having 6 sides. And we pump out our formula. We don't need that bracket in there. So now we have 4 lots of 180, which corresponds to our 1, 2, 3, 4 triangles. That gives us 720 degrees. And our last shape there, is our octagon. So our octagon, it's the 8-sided shape, and you can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 triangles that make up that octagon. So we should have 6 when we use our formula. And that is what we've gotten. And we get to 1080. And we can just repeat that pattern for however many sides that we have. Alright, so n sides, and it's just our formula, and you can see that that formula works pretty well. Okay, pop that up there. So that's the main gist of what we're doing with polygons. Got a couple of very quick little examples for us to smash out for the rest of this video. It is really handy though to know some of these bits of information just off the top of your head. Alright, and just be aware that there are other sides, types of shapes, so sided shapes. So the 7-sided shape, which is the heptagon, and then you've got the 9-sided shape, which is the nonagon, and then we've got a decagon for 10 sides, etc., etc. Now, if you're interested, you can pop in a comment down below what is the number of sides that a 50-cent piece has, and what is that shape called. Pop that in the comments below. Just as a bit of a game. Alright, let's have a look at our examples now. Alright, we have 2 examples. Here's our first one. Find the angle sum using our formula, and then find the value of A. So we actually have a non-convex shape. For this one. Okay, so we know first and foremost it's going to be over 180 degrees. Just by looking at the fact that it's a reflex angle, and we can sort of work with that as about the reasonableness of our answer when we get there. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start by writing down my formula. Some of you watching will already know this. This is something that I do very regularly, and I highly recommend it because it helps you know where you're putting things. Now, this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-sided shape, making it a hexagon. So we use 6 for N. So we have 4 lots of 180, which is our 720. Alright, so we know that the total our sum, the whole shape all added together, is 720. Now this little symbol in here, we should know, represents a right angle. And right angles are 90 degrees. So we know that that is 90 degrees. So to find the value of A, we need to take all those other angles away from 720. Right, so A equals 720 minus, now I'm going to pop all these in brackets to chuck into a calculator. 90 degrees for the right angle, and then we'll just go around and around until we get to the last angle listed. Last angle listed. So we should have 5 angles because we want the other one. So then we add all those bits in the bracket up. You don't have to do this step. You can go straight from here to the solution. But sometimes it's nice to know what those numbers add up to, which in this case is 480. So A equals 240 degrees. Nice big reflex angle there. So that's our first example done and dusted. Let's crack on to our last one. We have a very similar question here, but something that we already know is that the interior angles of a regular octagon are all the same. Now if we go back to our table, we don't need to go all through the calculations again, because an octagon has an angle sum of 1080. Alright, it's an angle sum of 1080 degrees. So that's what we're going to use. So I'm going to take the side of or the size of those angles, which is 1080, and I'm going to go A equals 1080 divided by the number of angles that are there, and there are 8 because it's an octagon. And once we divide that all out, we get 135 degrees. And that's it. That's all there is to it. That's polygons. Hopefully this video has been interesting and informative, and hopefully it will help you with the problems that you're going to be doing out of your text or worksheet or whatever it is. Good luck with those, and thank you for watching.